just picked up my all-time favorite wheels. Like, I used to have these before on the 370Z, and I just missed them ever since I sold them. And I got lucky and I picked these up for a really good deal with brand new tires, brand new wheels, everything brand spanking new. So you can kind of see right there which ones they are. If you guys have seen videos on these wheels that COSMIS has done on them when they drop them from certain heights, they're actually really strong wheels, and honestly they're like one of my favorite design out there right now. So we're gonna get home right now. I might have to order lug nuts, but I'm gonna test them out just to see how they look, and then we'll go from there. So let's jump forward to that point where we start testing them on. Alright guys, so here are the wheels. They are COSMIS XT006R. These are 18 times 9.5 with plus 10 offset. So they are pretty aggressive. I think they are going to stick out a little bit. And especially with the fat tire, it's going to look like it's going to stick out a little too much. And I might have to go with like a smaller tire. But I may be able to make it work with like pulling the fender a little bit. But right now you can see that they have a lot of concave, which makes it look really sick. Like, this is one of my all-time favorite wheels. I used to have these in black on my 370Z, which is this car right here. Right now I have a lot wider wheels on it with the wide body kit, same thing in the front. And I actually used to run 18 times 11 on the 370Z, but these are 18 times 9.5. It's just crazy how these like popped up, because if I was going to go with 18s, I wanted meaty tires. I didn't want skinny tires. The M45 is a pretty big car. It's really thick. So having like small tires and then small wheels is not going to look very good. If you're going to run small wheels, you have to have like fat tires. And that's exactly what this has. It has 255, 40, 18 all around. So it should sit really good. But I think the rear might be a little bit too much. But once we put it on, we'll check it out and see how it looks. I do actually have the center caps right here. They're brand new, never been used. These don't even have it on there yet. They haven't even been installed. So once I get the lug nuts, which should be here within the next few hours, I'll go ahead and test these on and see how it looks. And these are 100% brand new. Like, the tires are brand new as well. They are Falken tires, and I think these went for like 160 to like 180 depending on where you get them from. Brand new. So on tires alone you're looking at about over $800. And the wheels themselves brand new, which they're also brand new, never been installed. You can tell just by looking at the inside right there of where the lug nuts go that nothing has ever been installed in there. And also the paint and the finish brand spanking new. They're just like a little bit dirty, but you can see that this is like a $2,000+ value. I think it's like closer to $2,200, and I got it for less than half that. But the reason that the guy actually sold them to me is because he had issues with running these wheels because they don't clear big brake kits. If you want to clear a big brake kit, you usually got to run like a 15 mil. And if you want to run a 15 mil, you got to run like a through spacer. So it can't be something like this right here. You can't run a spacer like this with a 15 mil on these wheels because the back facing is flat. You have to run a spacer where it sits on your existing thread, the studs. There you go. You have to put a spacer on the studs, the existing ones, and then put these on there on top of that, because with the spacer, if it's smaller than a 15, the studs will hit the back facing part of it right here, which won't allow it to clear. So yeah, I got really lucky with these. I'm really happy because these are like my favorite wheels. You can just look at the concave. It looks so sick. The detail design of it, I mean, you just can't go wrong with these wheels. But I'm gonna go ahead and check the tire pressure before I put them on, and then once my lug nuts come in, I'll go ahead and throw it on. So we'll jump forward to that point. All right, so here's how the M45 looks right now with the stock wheels. You can see that they do kind of stick in quite a bit. And then here's the side profile. So let's go ahead and start jacking it up. We'll take off the front wheel, test that one out, and then we'll go from there. But I'm still waiting for my lug nuts to get here, but by the time they get here, I'll be able to install the lug nuts as well. that's how it looks with the front wheel, and I just tested my lip right now to see how it would look with it. But for sure we need to lower the car because the front is really high and they stick out quite a bit. If I go with a smaller tire, I think that it might fit like a little bit better. It'll be more flush, but I think that once I lower it, it's gonna camber in naturally a little bit, which should fix that like poke right there. So maybe we'll have to lower this car very soon. It's gonna look pretty weird with these tires like this, and then having a big gap. At least close it up to where it's really close to the tire. I think it'll look way better. But let's go ahead and put the rear one on. Alright, there you go. That's how the side profile looks of the M45 with the wheels on. I'm not sure why, but the rear sticks out like a lot more than the front. Not like a lot, but quite a bit. And then the same exact wheels, so they're 9.5 plus 10. It does look really good. It looks really clean, but I do need to lower it. I think that's gonna bother me for some time until I lower it. I mean, it doesn't look like horrible, but it could use a nice drop to make it look really nice and clean. I think that'll change the whole look of the car once I lower it. But the front doesn't stick out too much. Like the rear sticks out quite a bit. Like right there. Once I lower it, I think it'll camber in naturally a little bit, and I think it'll look really nice. It doesn't look bad though, it looks pretty nice. Especially with the fatter tires, it actually looks pretty good. If it would have been some skinny tires, I don't think it would look as good as it looks right now. But I think the biggest thing is lowering it for right now. So this right here is the main reason why I got new tires and wheels, because all of my tires technically look like this. And then right here you can see it's really bad. Even right there has a big gouge right there. And it was time to obviously replace these. I only had one good tire, which was this one right there. All the rest of them look like this. So that's the main reason I actually picked these up. Got a really good deal on them too. I couldn't pass them up. But I think for sure we need to lower this car like very soon, because that's bothering me. The only problem is that if I go with springs, is that I can't adjust it to where it's like not rubbing, and I would most likely have to pull the front fender. That way it doesn't do that. And the rear, same thing as well. Just pull it out a little bit so it doesn't rub. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. Hopefully you guys like the wheels on the M45, and it gives you a little bit more of an idea of what kind of wheels you should look for. If you want to run wheels on this car, you really have to go with the higher offset. So 10 was quite aggressive. The front was actually okay for some reason. Like it sits in a lot more than the rear does. The rear, you will have to like pull that fender, because when I do go over like bumps, it will kind of hit the fender a little bit on the rear. The front, I haven't had any issues with it at all, but of course it is on stock suspension. So once I lower, I most likely will have a problem. So I will have to actually roll the fender in the front to flatten it out, because technically right now it has like a lip and the inner wall of the front fender, which goes like that. You need to push it in, that way it doesn't rub. And then for the rear one, it's actually already flat. Throwing your finger across it, you'll feel that it's completely flat. There's no lip on it at all. But with the rear, for some reason, it does stick out a little bit more. So you will have to actually pull the fender to give it more of like a lip, so it actually goes out like that and it's not like straight down. But that'll be in the next video. I actually picked up coilovers for the M45 already. Got a really good deal, so I couldn't pass it up. I think the car's gonna look insane once we drop it, and it should camber in naturally once I do that. But yeah, that's gonna conclude the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.